Yo, what's good? Off stream reaction. Shout out to everybody who's been, watching the YouTube video and stuff like that. YouTube has been doing pretty good over the last couple of days, slash weeks, slash whatever the fuck. Appreciate everybody who's watching. Today's video is gonna be less I don't know, depends on what kind of video this is. Maybe serious, maybe not. It's called How Prawn Became the American Dream. I'm not passionate about this, but I do think this is an interesting talking point because I ain't gonna lie, prawn has taken over America, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'll be honest, bro. I know niggas like that I'm cool with. They said they started going in at 9, 10 years old. I'm like, yo, that's fucking sick, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I started getting introduced to it when I was like 13. Nah, that's cap. I was in fifth grade. I don't. That's bullshit. Yeah, that's not good, bro. No fifth grader should be looking at shit like that. So it's like, realistically, I think prawn should be banned in general, bro. But yeah, like let's get to the video. I might, make some talking points here.
A way to become rich, famous, and celebrated in modern culture. Today, there's no better way to become rich, famous, and celebrated in modern culture than by making porn videos.
I don't think that's true. You can be rich, successful by being like a fucking athlete, like actor, movie star. Like prawn stars, yeah, you can be famous, but like let's think about it. Let me think. Steph Curry. What else? An actor. Jamie Foxx, fucking what's that white nigga? Leonardo DiCaprio. They're all more famous than these people combined. Like, come on. But I see what you're saying.
Porn stars from days gone by, they mostly ended up dead, addicted to drugs, or washed up on the back streets in downtown LA somewhere. Now look at Mia Khalifa. Okay. She's a multi-millionaire who hosted shows with NBA legends, sat front row at Paris and Milan fashion weeks, modeled for Vivienne Westwood and Moschino, runs her own jewelry business, and has been interviewed by basically every.
I ain't gonna lie, I did not know Miss Khalifa had this much motion. Now, have I seen some of her content? Back in the day, I did. But I didn't know she was moving like this in 2026.
Major outlets on Earth. She was a paralegal from a Lebanese family.
What's a paralegal?
She didn't churn out film for years, she just claimed she made 11 of them over a few months. And within a few weeks of her debut, she was the #1 performer on the biggest adult site in the world, where she received death threats, was shunned from her religion, and her family stopped speaking to her.
ISIS was after you?
What? I'm not allowed back in Lebanon. I was banned from the Middle East.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy, because they were the ones who watch my videos the most.
Then
I'll be real though, like obviously you don't deserve to die for making those videos. Yo gang, you literally made a video of you getting fucked with a hijab on. That's crazy. That's is that like blasphemous in Middle Eastern? That's probably blasphemous in Middle Eastern culture. That's like doing like a sex tape with like a cross necklace on or some crazy shit. Like I don't even know, like it's OD that you did that. You're really mocking your own culture, and then you don't deserve to die for that, obviously. It's just like, what you did was insane.
She walked away from the industry forever after making just $12,000.
That's it? 12 bands?
At least, that's what she claimed.
You were paid a grand total of $12,000 US, and yet you made millions and millions of dollars for both Bang Bros, company that you worked with, and the aggregating site. How could that be?
That's just how it is.
But between then and now, Mia Khalifa, like so many others, has used porn to become, in every sense of the word, famous.
She is famous, yeah.
But legitimately famous, rubbing shoulders with A-listers and getting
Who
invited
the fuck is
to
this nigga said A-lister. Okay, I don't doubt that she's been around famous niggas. Who the fuck is... I might not be in the loop, but who is this? Is this an A-lister?
Parties. Something huge happened in the world of adult content to create a pipeline to status.
You got any gooners in the comments?
Wealth. For Sarah Jo Chamoun, which is Mia's real name, she grew up
this nigga's a fag.
outside the internet, and more specifically at a turning point for the sex industry.
I mean, I'm a kid who grew up playing World of Warcraft and using dial-up internet and fixing the computer at home when it broke. Like, that was my job because I was of that generation. So I think that I've always had a knack for...
How old is she? I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna Google Mia Khalifa. Do I want to Google this? How old is she, bro? Niggas made a Mia Khalifa diss? She's 33, okay.
What I like to consume online, which in turn influenced how I like to be online.
Adult content back then was an analog affair, driven by
you know what I be thinking?
Magazines and adult video stores. The money.
Let's go back in time. 2000. Let's go back to like 2008. If a nigga wanted to goon, what would they do? Or was like gooning just not a thing? I genuinely don't know, because I mean I was born in 04. Like in the early 2000s, 90s. And I feel like, honestly, that's probably a good thing because realistically, niggas should not be letting off a nut every day. Right? Now, if you're fucking married, that's different. But like, you shouldn't have your meat in your hand stroking your shit every day. And I'm saying this as a man. I know it's way different for girls, but like, at one point, I was stroking my shit every day. Nigga, quarantine 2020, wake up, goon, Fortnite for like 6 hours, goon again, eat some food, take a nap, wake up, play NBA 2K, Rainbow Six Siege, get off at like 6 a.m., boom, go to bed, no shower, no toothbrushing some days. That's not normal.
It was limited and controlled by the gatekeepers. Performers like Mia got paid per scene with no way to self-publish or go independent. And like so many others, she was pulled off the street in Miami by a random man who asked if she thought about modeling, suggesting she come down to a studio and take a look around.
That's actually OD.
The studio was Bang Bros, one of the leading studios at the time.
Yo, shit. That's actually a butterfly effect of hell. I didn't know a random nigga came up to her and said, "Do you want to do porn?" That's
It wasn't
I thought she looked for it.
Want to come do porn. It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Like, would you like to do some modeling? Oh, you know, you have a great body. Like, I think you'd be great in nude modeling. Things like that. And after I came and toured the studio, you know, it was very respectable. It was a gorgeous location. It was in Miami, in Doral, Florida. It was clean. Everyone who worked there was nice. All of their cubicles were decorated with family photos. Like, it was nothing.
So how does it
paperwork? Came back the next day, filmed her first scene, and a month in, they put her in a hijab, which was incredibly controversial but decisive for her career. She told the studio that the video was going to get her killed.
I verbatim told them, "You guys are gonna get me killed."
Why did you record it then? I get it. You signed a contract, but there's no way in that contract that said you got to get fucked with a hijab on. And if it did, there's no way you didn't see it. Why do you tell them after you recorded the video? You should just, they probably told you, put this on. They gave you the costume. Or not a costume, but the clothes you had to wear. Why didn't you just say no? And I get it, like, but it's like, come on, you know, you should have said something before.
And they said.
They just laughed.
She did it anyway, and after it premiered, the avalanche started. Radical Islamic sympathizers hacked her Instagram and covered it in propaganda. They photoshopped a picture of her onto someone being beheaded. Her family disowned her.
They photoshopped a picture of me onto someone getting beheaded.
That's weird.
And they said something along the lines of, "You're next."
She quit less than a month later, but none of this blew over like she hoped it would, and she couldn't get back into regular employment.
I realized
of course not.
I can never work a normal job again.
Bang Bros disputed her account of her career and her argument that they ripped her off. They eventually created a website dedicated to calling her out, called factspeakfiction.co, pushing back.
These niggas at Bang Bros are so weird. Y'all niggas made a whole website to say why Mia Khalifa's a liar?
Stating that they paid her over $178,000. They even said she filmed before with a different studio under the name Mia Khalifa before Bang Bros.
Where the videos
The
at?
entire narrative was just a total lie. She claimed she walked away from adult content with her head held high, but adult content hadn't walked away from her. So naturally, there was only one way to climb back up the ladder, and OnlyFans took over the entire industry at that exact moment.
OnlyFans has done irreparable damage to society. I'm gonna say this is like Rogue.
Joined OnlyFans in 2020, she framed it as a moral response to the Beirut port explosion that killed 218 people in her home country.
So you made an OnlyFans account as a show of respect to your home country getting bombed? Or like there being an explosion in Lebanon. I think she's from Lebanon. You said, because it says over 100 people lost their life. And you thought, let me make an OnlyFans. What does that do? I might have paused to her. Let me hear this.
She publicly pledged to donate the first $100,000 she made on the platform.
In 2020.
I'm gonna be honest. This bitch is demonic. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna exploit my body and show them because let's be real, bro. Prawn is mostly for kids, right? Obviously, there's some outliers like 30-year-old dudes who are single virgins, but prawn is mainly consumed by kids, bro. Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, dudes who are younger and going through all types of, you know what I'm saying, transitions in their life. That's what it's for. So you said, I'm going to use this fucking tragedy, right? And I'm going to sell my body to kids and people who are willing to buy them, who are porn addicts and adults, and give the first $100,000 to people who lost their lives to this explosion. Why couldn't you do like a fucking a Twitch stream charity? Nah, you're going to sell your body.
I decided to join OnlyFans after the Beirut blast.
So
I made
weird.
the decision to join OnlyFans and donate. If I was able to make $100,000, I am donating $100,000, and that's why I'm joining this platform.
It doesn't take a very high level of skepticism to wonder whether that was true or just ethical positioning. But either way, it clearly worked out for her career. This is where Mia Khalifa became the bridge between two completely different worlds.
What worlds?
The old world of adult content that chewed the old porn stars up and spat them out, leaving them in places like the tunnels under Las Vegas. And then there's the new world of adult content that makes celebrity entrepreneurs. Let's take Sophie Rain. In 2022, she was a 19-year-old waitress barely covering her bills. She didn't come from an adult entertainment background, but OnlyFans was still her exit.
My sister was doing OnlyFans, and I was like, maybe I'll try it so I can get out of this serving job, because I was just serving. I was working.
She was a server?
Literally every day, 9 to 5.
Restaurant?
It's called Papa Joe's. It was some Italian restaurant down in Tampa.
That's crazy.
But it was fun. Like, I loved it. I loved serving, but I just wasn't making money.
It all kicked off with her infamous Spider-Man video.
Every time I was like, no, it's not me. No, it's not me. They're like, no, you're lying. It is. So I just kind of ran with it.
It wasn't even her, but she made about $95 million in 3 years from a case of mistaken identity.
Shit like this makes me so mad. I'm not saying, I'm gonna be honest, no, you don't deserve that money. Yo, that's insane, bro. But it's like, can you even, nigga, if I'm a girl and I can make 95 M's, would I sell my body? I probably would, bro. But it's like, it's crazy how this world is to where it's like, there's teachers who are like fucking working 7 days a week because you got to grade papers and all that extra shit for hundreds of students, barely scraping by, and this girl could just fucking shake some ass, but I can get naked and make 100 M's.
So in 3 years, how much have you made?
I think last time I checked, it was at $95 million.
Holy.
Here's what really happened.
There's no way.
In September 2023, Sophie and her sister Sierra posted the Spider-Man themed photo set on their OnlyFans.
Okay.
Around the same time, another creator called Naomi, who happens to look like Sophie, filmed an explicit video in a skin-tight black Spider-Man suit. The internet saw the photo set and the explicit video and conflated the two. Millions of men became convinced Sophie had secretly leaked hardcore content.
Yeah, I'm not going out. I've never heard of this shit before.
She clocked that it was free traffic and started dressing up as Spider-Man on TikTok to deliberately stoke the rumor.
I never heard of this,
There
I
is
can't
no
lie.
real Sophie Rain's Spider-Man video. The whole thing is a fantasy that lived in the minds of her audience. She also created scarcity around her content by describing herself as a
She's
virgin,
not a virgin,
though she
obviously.
backtracked on that a year later. I don't think people talk enough about how much these addictions can quietly affect your life.
They can ruin
especially
your
when
life.
it starts early in your life.
True.
It's one of those things that seems harmless at first, but over time it chips away at your focus, your discipline, and even your confidence.
Yeah, anything done in excess is going to be bad for you. If you're gooning every day, I get it. It's hard. Like for me, I used to be a porn addict. I had easier time stopping. The only addictions I've had in my life is like smoking weed and probably prawn. I can't lie. Like I've never been addicted to drinking, gaming. Am I gaming? Do I have a gaming addiction? I mean, I game on stream. I don't game off stream, so I don't think I'm gonna do gaming. But prawn is way harder to quit than gaming, especially when you do it a lot. Like that dopamine rush is crazy.
And the worst part is, most people try to fix it with willpower alone, which almost never works.
And it doesn't.
You
Because
just
niggas
end
get
up
horny.
stuck in the same loop. And that's why I want to talk to you about this. There's content blockers out there like our sponsor Quit.
This shit don't work, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. The best way to quit prawn is get a girlfriend. I'm just be real, because once you get a girlfriend, you really have no need for it. I'm sorry, guys. There's no quick solution. Just getting, not even a girlfriend, just getting pussy in general.
Use code MOON to try it out. Sophie said her content involves some level of nudity, which is probably understated, but she's definitely not out there doing what Bonnie
This
Bliss
bitch
is
is,
doing.
yo, this bitch is a, what is it called? This bitch is a sucky bitch. There you go.
Epitomizes exactly what adult
Jezebel.
content has become, selling the fantasy of personal access to an attractive woman. Sophie now has 16 million Instagram followers.
Hey.
When she walks through a shopping mall in Miami, paparazzi camp outside to ask
That's
her
so
about
weird.
her rumored collab
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. If you're a paparazzi worker, like, you're just a creep.
with Drake.
Can't
The
lie.
mansion she co-founded with 7 other OnlyFans creators was described in the mainstream press as the Gen Z version of the Playboy Mansion. She's constantly associated with big celebrity
Shaq,
events.
really, nigga?
The industry has swallowed itself and given birth to something entirely new. A monetized intimacy economy where the content can be softer, the stigma lower, and the money exponentially bigger. All while the sexual acts are actually increasingly optional.
What the f are the guys paying for at that point?
Yeah, what are they paying for?
Curiosity, and then also
With that
like
specific person?
Yeah.
I guess, right? Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
because you can sit there and have a conversation with me, you know?
No,
like
you-
you don't get that just from going on Instagram.
Mia got paid
Guys, hopefully we don't have any OnlyFans subscription buyers in here. If you really think you're talking to these girls, I'll be real with you. You're talking to an Indian nigga that's making $3 an hour. The only time you're gonna be really talking to these girls is if they're like bottom of the barrel, barely making any money on OnlyFans in their job. And if that's what it is, okay, you know you're probably talking to her because she's poor. She can't afford that nigga. But if you're talking to these tip of the top ones, you're talking to a fucking nigga in Nepal.
$12,000 for explicit permanent graphic content. Sophie got paid $1.4 million by one man for messages. And that was back in 2025. It's over $6 million now.
I want to say last time I checked, it was like 1.4.
Wow. Wow.
But that was like, that's of all
My
time.
God.
That's of all time. And I've been doing this for going on 2 years now.
Who the f is this guy? That's got to be like a fucking
I'm
Middle
fucking-
Eastern
I'm
prince.
scared.
I can't say much obviously because I'm not gonna air anyone's shit out.
Yeah.
But it's he's
You're not even crushing. He's a good guy. Of course he is. He give you a meal.
Social life. Her parents both
Bro, yo, if y'all niggas want to talk to me, y'all can talk to me for like $5. That ass, bro. Why talk to Sophie Green when you could talk to Eat Zick for like, nigga, 1 trillion of that. Just give me $5. We can talk for as long as you want.
Fired, and she became their provider.
Right now,
wait,
like,
what?
Social life. Her parents both got fired.
They got fired?
right
for
now,
what?
like, I'm supporting them completely. They both got fired from their jobs because of me. So I feel a little bit of guilt in that, and like I feel like I need to provide for them also because my fault, I guess.
I guess, and
Sophie
it's your
built an
fault.
empire on a video that never existed, but a couple of years before that, a young actress called Chloe Cherry ran the inverse strategy.
What the fuck is this?
The same result. She'd moved to Miami the week she turned 18 to do adult content, and spent the next few years becoming one of the most watched performers on Pornhub. Then during lockdown, she filmed a pornographic parody of HBO's teen drama Euphoria.
I've never seen this.
After, the real creator of the genuine Euphoria emailed her asking her to audition for the show. She got the part, again proving how can scaffold women.
This bit got on Euphoria through
Within
prom?
months of her first episode airing, she'd walked New York and Milan
What
Fashion Week,
the
fronted a
fuck?
Versailles campaign, and starred in the music video for Charli XCX's 360. In just under a year, she went from being the most watched woman on a specific hub category to being a face the fashion industry was actively
Are you shitting me?
This isn't entirely new. 20 years before OnlyFans existed, a young LA
Kim
socialite
Kardashian.
proved that a leaked sex tape didn't have to end.
Wow, this nigga's not lying. I thought he was low-key clickbaiting. Prawn is the American dream because you go from prawn to being a fucking movie star, gang?
It could actually build one. That woman was Kim Kardashian,
'Cause she
one
did
of the
prawn
most
too.
widely known names on the planet. The promiscuity of people like herself and Paris Hilton was creating sex entrepreneurs without going through the industry. It was classier, more refined, and more marketable. The Kardashian tape was filmed with her then boyfriend Ray J in 2003.
Everybody's seen this
It went
bitch.
public in
She really made this shit before I was born.
February
That's crazy.
2007. At the time, an explicit video of a young woman with no particular fame or career wasn't viewed as the norm like it might be today. When these tapes leaked, they were massive news stories, and the entertainment industry was paying very close attention. Because somewhere in the media frenzy that followed, someone in a boardroom ran the calculations. And the math said that what happened to Kim Kardashian could be converted with the right packaging into one of the most lucrative television deals of the decade.
Oh.
Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered 8 months later and propelled the whole family to the center of celebrity culture for nearly a decade. Today, Kim
Niggas really watch that show.
Kardashian's worth roughly $1.7 billion, and the tape that kicked it all off is a mere footnote in her CV.
You know what, man? She went from making prawn movies, being a nobody, to being a billionaire 20 years later. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Money's the devil. It's crazy, bro. You have so many people who work hard. Like, think about, like, and I'm not trying to get too conspiracy theory-esque into this video. It's a prawn video. But, like, that nigga who invented the water-powered car. What was his name? Who invented the water-powered car and died? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. This nigga Stanley Meyer, the dude who made this car, he was genuinely trying to help people in the world. And think about the people who get close to curing. I truly think there's a cure for cancer. But in this world, if shit doesn't make people money, it's not gonna get out. I promise you. It's just like shit that holds us back, like prawn, shit like that, drugs, even like gambling. The amount that gambling has been pushed, like, bro, 10 years ago, gambling was taboo. Like, sports betting, it was obviously a thing, but like it was more like under the table. But now there's ESPN Bet, Prize Picks, fucking Call Sheet, nigga, Poly Market, Stake, all this shit being pushed to us. And I think gambling's it's the devil too. I don't gamble, bro. I'm not a perfect dude either. Like, I sin and shit. I'm not trying to make this religious thing, but all the things that are being pushed on us normal people who work 9 to 5s are detrimental to our lives. And I just think it's so weird. That's why I say capitalism's evil, bro. My bad. I don't want to look right there.
Would you be where you are had there not been a sex tape?
No, you wouldn't. Of course not.
You know, I think that's how I was definitely introduced to the world. It was a negative way. So I felt like I really had to work 10 times harder to get people to see the real me.
She's quite honest about Impact, saying the worst part wasn't the humiliation itself, but having to explain the tape to her grandmother. She said she was grateful her father had died 4 years earlier and didn't live to see it.
I had to explain that to my grandmother. So I think I was more...
And you chose to record it. Have to explain it to
my father.
Which is basically a premonition of how many OnlyFans models feel today. OnlyFans relies on publicity and self-promotion. You can't easily shoot scenes under an alias and hide.
Yo, and this one too. I think Bad Baby's the same age as me. Niggas was waiting until she as soon as she turned 18, she dropped the OnlyFans. keep in mind, she didn't take those pictures the second she turned 18 because the minute she turned 18, she made the OnlyFans and was dropping shit. So it's like, you're not going to fucking get a whole full photo shoot in fucking 5 minutes of you turning 18. Those pictures were probably taken when she was 17 and then released when she was 18. So you niggas are really, the niggas who pay for that are going into child. It's so sick. Like, why is that a fetish? Like, freshly 18. This world sucks.
Kim as a double life. What Kim had inadvertently proved is that attention itself is the asset, and you need to market yourself as a person. Whatever generates the attention is almost secondary. The market logic of modern porn rewards whatever generates the most clicks, and everything else is downstream of that rule. Which is exactly why marketing stunts are getting more controversial and extreme.
Oh, the Bonnie Lily.
Fame today looks more like an arms race where performers compete for a share of the audience's attention. Like in 2019 when Belle Delphine sold jars of her own bath water for $35 each.
Disgusting.
She faked her own arrest with a photoshopped Metropolitan Police mugshot and briefly ran a account that turned out to be videos of 2 roosters. Her whole thing was just absurdist performance art dressed up as sex work, and it made her one of the most famous egos.
I remember this, yeah. She was crazy.
In 2021, a 17-year-old called Bad Barbie, who had become briefly famous on Dr. Phil for telling the audience to catch her outside, teased her OnlyFans launch for weeks on Instagram.
Talk about this.
She then opened the account the day she turned 18 and made $1 million in 6 hours.
Told ya.
Lil Tay would then follow in her footsteps years later. In May 2025, an Australian creator.
Bro, I completely forgot Lil Tay was even existed, bro. You have grown men literally, because she's still a kid, I think. Or even though like 18, you're still a fucking kid, but I'm talking about legally. You have niggas literally waiting for these. Probably, I don't even want to talk about it. Niggas don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just so crazy.
Called Annie Knight hired a swingers club on the Gold Coast and had sex with 583 men in 6 hours.
The fuck?
She was then hospitalized with vaginal bleeding and posted the hospital photo to Instagram, captioned, "I guess 583 guys in a day isn't that good for your body." In October 2024, the 23-year-old British model called Lily Phillips invited 101 men into an Airbnb and had sex with all of them in a single day. She filmed it as a documentary. A clip of her crying afterwards, her friends around her, got 200 million views in one tweet. She has then since faked a pregnancy, faked an arrest, filmed a classroom roleplay with 18-year-olds, and announced she'd be beating the existing world record by sleeping with 1,000 men in a day. And then of course there's Bonnie Blue, who took the record of 1,057 men in 12 hours. She also faked a pregnancy and will risk arrest, deportation, or practically anything to stay relevant.
Bro.
And somehow this has gotten her on the podcast circuit like all of these girls. These stunts echo the much wider trend across social media where AI slop and brain rot content dominate for their acute ability to hijack our dopamine. Mr. Beast, Sidemen, and others mastered that formula with escalating challenges that became more and more outrageous, leaving nothing off the table in the pursuit of attention. It's all pervasive, and adult entertainment naturally made a home in social media's algorithmic universe because ramping up the shock value is so easy when it's someone's body. Behind all of these stunts is usually an incredibly well-engineered business that proves how much porn has transformed. They have staff, a logistics operation, and marketing budgets rivaling tech startups. Probably the biggest weapon they have in their marketing arsenal is those who oppose them.
It's all the Karens sat at home that are going to complain about me being here that are making me rich because they make it blow up. And then when they're sat at home complaining about it to their, their husbands, they're then wanting to come and subscribe.
Putting their self-destructive elements of the
it's crazy. You know what? These people are truly marketing geniuses because the people who are hating are blowing her up to the max, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, the internet is always going to flourish off negativity, especially in this day and age. So it's like the more you hate on it, the more money she makes. It's really genius, in like a twisted way. But these people have a whole team behind them, marketing team. Like they're smart.
Lifestyle aside for a moment, they're savvy operators who understand the algorithm, the incentives, and the market better than anyone. Sophie Rain's instinct to leverage a video that wasn't even hers is annoyingly smart. Bonnie Blue will hang around any big influencer at the time, whether it be Andrew Tate or the Nelk Boys, as she knows doing so will keep the money pumping into her operation. Mia Khalifa found a way to make herself look innocent in front of mainstream audiences, and this is why culture had to stop ignoring them. Every magazine, podcast, and TV channel is starving for attention, and these women are sitting on more of it than anyone else in the room. Ignoring them doesn't make them go away, it just hands the traffic to whoever covers them instead. So the commercial decision becomes to platform them. Like when Bonnie Blue said this on UK daytime TV.
What did she say?
Anyone could have been watching.
I've never seen this.
You're like a Premiership footballer. You're
I mean, I work with balls, so it's the same
There we
thing.
go.
So, barely legal, 18-year-olds.
Ah, you said that on TV.
Because as I started my content, I realised it was not necessarily relatable to the average person. And I wanted to make my content relatable. I'm just a girl.
600 quid a month.
Relatable. I'm sort of the girl next door vibes.
People commented things like interviewing a prostitute at 10:35 is okay for family viewing.
That's a good
How
question.
can we have this conversation on morning TV as if it's normal? Imagine if you were a kid watching
that's a
this,
good
who
question.
Bonnie Blue was, and what she meant by working with bulls or switching to barely 18-year-olds.
Yeah, and I mean, this is obvious, but mainstream media is evil as well. They only push what they want to push. They lie to you. They don't care about you as a consumer. They push what gets them money, and they push what the government wants them to push. This is basic knowledge, service level.
But there is
I
another
don't watch the
side
news.
far away
Get
from
my
this
shit off
very
Twitter.
public layer that we've not yet explored. Because while the conversation has spent the last decade arguing about whether those women are empowered or exploited, two-dimensional or sophisticated, victims or villains, the really smart ones are those who built the industry. You can almost certainly picture some of the girls in this video. You know what Mia looks like, you know what Kim looks like, you'd recognize Bonnie Blue in a supermarket. Yeah. These are some of the most visible people alive. The men who own the platforms they work on, however,
These are the niggas who are
notoriously invisible.
Yeah.
When Mia Khalifa was filming for Bang Bros in late 2014, Bang Bros was independent, but was soon rolled up into a vast internet empire backed by institutional cash and managed by faceless executives. The parent structure behind most of her distribution was a
I've never really thought about it like that. Like, these niggas over at Bang Bros, what's their valuation? I can't remember Googling this. Like, for their company, I generally have no idea. $150 million is their valuation as a company. Hey, bro, yeah, they have a lot of suits behind them. I ain't gonna lie. I never thought about like the business or executive end of it. They have some truly evil people back there. I can't lie.
Operated conglomerate called MindGeek, which owned Hub, RedTube, Brazzers, and several hundred
you
other
own
sites,
all that?
all controlled through a network of shell companies across the world. One of its recent owners, a guy called Bernd Bergmair, wasn't known to the media or photographed in public until recently.
Wow.
MindGeek wasn't just built for the love of the game, it was backed with nearly $500 million
by
Chase, among other major investors, and weirdly, even Cornell University. The same institutional capital that owns stakes in Meta, ByteDance, and Google is also indirectly exposed to the adult platforms and the
it's crazy, isn't it?
From them, which means
I don't want to be that guy, but who thinks he's Jewish? I don't think he is. I'm just saying, maybe.
Means ordinary people's retirements are, in very small and very diffuse ways, invested in the same economy that Bonnie Blue is helping to expand.
Your retirement funds are put into
Bonnie
Bonnie Blue.
Level, springing out of the studios and making the girls do most, if not all, of the legwork. And when you look at what OnlyFans really is, it looks exactly like Amazon, Fiverr, or DoorDash. Thousands of near identical thumbnails of near identical women doing near identical poses, all fighting for the same attention, all undercutting each other on price, all promising more than the last one. It personifies the direction of today's tech industry. It's the gig economy with sex as the product, using a subscription model backed by viral marketing. On the top layer, the man who owned OnlyFans until his death in March was
died?
$4.7 billion. On the
Damn,
bottom layer,
how did he die?
Sophie Rain,
I keep Googling. I'm sorry. How did the creator of OnlyFans die? Oh, he had cancer. Rest in peace to you, bro. You know, nobody deserves to die of cancer, but that's sad.
roughly 10,000 women upload content nobody is paying for. Subsidizing Sophie Rain, roughly 10th worth $4.7 billion. On the bottom left, every Sophie Rain, roughly 10,000 women upload content nobody is paying for.
10,000 girls making free content.
Sophie Rain possible, while the platform takes a big cut, routes it through a holding company, and into a private equity deal being negotiated in Silicon Valley. All to completely our entire society and do untold damage to our culture because of this. What has been labeled as empowerment really involves giving someone on OnlyFans the ability to negotiate the terms of her own exploitation, take home a larger cut of it, and then call the result a business, which on the individual level looks like a meaningful improvement versus Mia Khalifa's situation in 2014. On the collective level, it's built the most efficient content extraction machine in the history of the internet. Millions of women competing against each other, producing an unlimited library of material for a platform they don't own in exchange for a wage that, for most of them, works out to be less than minimum wage. The thing the industry figured out somewhere around 2016 is that you don't need to exploit anyone if you can get them to exploit themselves. You just need to build the infrastructure, take a cut of the door, and let the market do the rest. And those who become mainstream celebrities using as a gateway to something more, create something to aspire to, even though most will never make it.
It's like fucking streaming, except, you know, I don't get naked on here.
So what were you guys doing in here again?
I really think streaming in general is a CIA plant too, but I promote positivity with my content, so I'm different. Wait a minute. Am I different? I mean, at least I have a personality. I stream because I love streaming and I like entertaining people and I like making people laugh. I don't stream because of the money, even though I want to make money off of it. Who cares, nigga? It's a fucking prime video. Catch y'all boys tomorrow. Y'all boys be safe. Don't goon today. Good night.